An interesting subject is air conditioning or refrigeration. And if you get in college and get a chance to take an elective, that would be a good one to take. An air conditioning system or refrigeration system is made up of four parts. A compressor driven by a motor where you make the work input. Two heat exchangers, a high side and a low side, one to reject the heat, one to absorb the heat. And then a mechanism, either an expansion valve or a series of capillary tubes to bleed the refrigerant from a high pressure state to a low pressure state. That's where it goes from a hot liquid to an ice cold liquid. So we have the compressor. The system is full of a refrigerant that can turn from liquid to gas depending on its heat content. The compressor pumps up the gas to a high pressure. It gets very hot. We run it through a condenser, a heat exchanger. Then we blow air across it to get the heat out of the refrigerant, and we do that outside. We run maybe 90-degree air through it. The air goes through, hits a 200 or 300 degree refrigerant or through the heat exchanger. We reject heat. So now this hot gas becomes cooler and cooler until at the end a lot of it turns into a liquid. Then we run it through a liquid separator that is mainly a quill, a tank. This flows in, and then there's a low pipe at the bottom of this tank that picks up only liquid. That hot liquid under high pressure then goes into an expansion valve or capillary tubes that squirt it down to a low pressure. The minute it goes to a low pressure, it gets ice cold. We then run that through a heat exchanger. We run our air across it, and cold air comes out. The refrigerant absorbs the heat from the air. And then, while that's happening, the refrigerant starts to boil, turn from liquid back into a gas. And then when it's all gas, it's absorbed all the heat it can absorb, then goes into the compressor, pumps up to the high pressure again, and the cycle continues. That's basically a refrigeration cycle that's used everywhere.